Okay, now we know how to use the SQL DF to select the data we want. I just show you use the select every column from the data frame given. Where is the given a criteria of sub substring. Substring means that to get a portion of the string, a portion of date. Okay, start at the fifth character and then get 4. Okay, and don't forget you need to have a single quote because the date, the substring of date is still a string. So whenever it is a string, you need to have a single quote. Okay, then we put the my month into the SQL statement so that we will get the data. Okay, based on the SQL statement. So in this SQL statement, you just simply grab a monthly report. You can treat it this way. Okay, it's a monthly because that the last month number is just a month, right? So everything shows here is within a month. It's a monthly data. And then since we have this, then we calculate the mean value and the standard deviation. Okay, my monthly is the data frame you just selected, right? Okay, so in this month, within this month, okay, we calculate the column of open, this column, this column, the open to get the mean value and the standard deviation. Also, also we calculate the mean value and the standard deviation for value. So let's run it. Okay. So as you can see, the mean value is the 122 point something, and then the deviation is the 2.22 something. Okay. For the volume part, is very large. Okay, it's a big number over here. So that means that the IBM, this volume is up and down, like this way. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So from this we can set the a base SQL. It's simply a string. So we can move this line up. We can move this line up over here. Okay. So over here, why don't we put it right here? So this is the base SQL, okay? Because that right now we always deal with the select, and the SQL statement always start with the select star from data frame's name. So I put this into a variable. You can see now I replace this one with a string. So it has to be a tuple like this one. Okay. So from now, I just simply focus on the where condition because everything before the square is the same. It's a select star from the data frame 2K. Okay. So this is the better way to do the programming and very efficient. Well, most important. So let's go back to here. So as you can see, we already have the my base SQL, right? And then I can also use plus. Okay, plus means they concatenate two strings. But remember, you need to have a space in between. Otherwise, it will connect to each other, will make your SQL statement wrong. Okay, so my SQL, my base SQL plus means concatenate, and then add one more space over here. Okay, then where open less than this value. Okay, less than this value, since the open is not a string, so that's why we don't need a single quote over here. We don't need it. Okay, you can do this. Well, you can write it in this way. Okay, because that you when we use the double quote outside, so that we can put the single quote within. Okay, so we we use the select again. We use the select again. So the where condition, this where, this MySQL is everything of this, everything. So the SQL with the pound sign and not pound sign is a percentage sign, and then put this value. Again, this is a value. It's a mean value plus 1/2 of standard deviation, and then convert this into a string. It's very important because we ask for string, right? It's a string, so we need to convert this decimals into a string, and then so that we get a full SQL. Let me show you. The SQL what we have, is over here. We just do this and then do this. I move this line here and then take a look at this statement. Okay, I just simply do some replacement. We put everything into a variable so that you can see. Okay, so the SQL statement will like this: select something, everything, every column from a data frame, and then where open, this open value must less than this value. Okay, and ends with a semicolon. Okay, this is the statement. So we put this statement into a PySQL DF, and then we will get what we want right here, right here. Cool, right? Right here. Okay. Similarly, we can calculate above this value. Okay. We can do this. I just copy over here. So as you can see, that's the benefit. If you write program systematically, you will get a simple statement. Okay, so I put everything to replace this, replace like this. Now you can see the SQL statement is the same, right? It's the same. It's a PySQL DF and then with the SQL statement, same as this one. The only difference is that the data frame will be determined by the SQL statement. I'll put it right here. Okay, that's the above, that's the minus over here. Okay, let's do it. I run it. Okay, so we can compare with these two lines. The first one is that the open column value less than 123 something, and we're above 120 something. Okay, and then we just take a peek of the first 5. Okay, and this one is the last 5. Last 5. Okay, that's because we have two segments of data. Okay, in the middle is the mean value, right? And the upper part is the 123 something, right? So we use the tail. It's the tail. So this line 120, you can think it this way. If there is a 120 virtual row over here, it should be mean value. And then there's the head, the first one. If there is a negative one, it should be a mean value, which is just the upper part and the lower part. Okay. Okay. Now we can combine these two into one statement. Just like this way. Okay. We combine the open value must greater than this, the first parameter, and then also must be smaller than the second parameters. Okay, and the first parameter and the second parameter is this, must be greater than negative 0.5, right? And must be less than positive 0.5. And then I set an index, simply just re-index. Okay, let me show you. Run. Okay, now we have a segment of the monthly data. Remember, this is a monthly data, and this is just a part of the data. Must be the open value must between these two values. These two values. Okay. Okay. Similarly, we can use the volume, right? We get a value between. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. And then just simply run it. That's it. We will get a volume between the upper part and the lower part.